What's going on, my dudes? Oscar checking in with a brand new video. Today I want to talk about a series that was a little bit hard to get my hands on. This manga it usually sells out super quick, so it's not really the easiest in the world to get my hands on. I checked it out. It's like super creepy. It's being made into an anime that I'm really excited to check out. Today I want to talk about Mieruko-Chan. Mieruko-Chan is written by Tomoki Izumi. I haven't seen any other writing credits, so I think this is the mangaka's first work. It's really polished, super well done. You can tell that a lot of care and dedication went into the series. The atmosphere is often pretty creepy, the ghost designs are spectacular. This is even being made into an anime which will debut in October on Crunchyroll. I'm personally excited to check it out because I loved the first volume of the manga. This story follows Miko, an ordinary teenage girl that, unfortunately, happens to see ghosts. We're led to believe this happens out of nowhere, and one day Miko just begins to see crazy shit. The monsters, or ghosts if you will, of this series are legitimately terrifying. They're everywhere Miko goes, and they appear out of nowhere to scare the living hell out of her. She spends half the manga in tears and the other half pretending she isn't seeing these dead people. Her facial expressions are so well done, you genuinely feel bad for this girl. You get that sense that before everything around her went wonky, she was just an average teenager. She's still in school though. The actual grade isn't, I don't believe it's mentioned. Please correct me if I'm wrong. All the ghosts Miko interacts with, or rather those that attempt to interact with her, seem to be stuck in a loop where they repeat the same phrases over and over. Rarely do they say anything more, as if deathly parakeets. Two things that are captured really well here are the tension with the ghosts and the way in which Miko plays off seeing them by pretending to be staring at a wrestler on her phone or running to meet with her best friend Hana. There are even callbacks to things that happened earlier, and B stories are told that Miko eventually becomes a part of, and they have these super funny payoffs, including one with prayer beads. For a story that comes seemingly out of nowhere, it is rich with detail, and not a single character feels weak in delivery or presence. Even those that are only around for a few pages or even one panel have solid payoffs. They tell the story that needs to be told, play their part, and then they vanish into the nearest wall. Despite the ghosts seeming to have one driving goal, haunting either people or specific areas, they can become super territorial. They seem to know Miko can see them, and I suspect that will pay off in a big way later on down the line, or at least I hope so, as I have only read this first volume so far. I will say though that it does have me hooked, and I want to keep reading. I want to keep coming back so long as new volumes keep coming out to keep me both morbidly entertained and extremely horrified. There is a particularly funny and horrifying scene in which a hanging man stands in front of her best friend Hana's stuffed rabbit, and to keep the other girl from walking into the ghost, Miko goes and retrieves the bunny herself, anything to keep her best friend safe and out of harm's way. Miko proves herself a top-notch friend, as anyone else would probably run for the hills. As fucked up as this manga is, it is also extremely funny, as later on there is one scene near the end in which Miko chases a tiny ghost into an alley, and there is an even bigger one that it runs into. It runs inside of the bigger ghost, as if Russian dolls with smaller ones inside. Noticing the bigger ghost, she realizes she is stuck, because the whole reason she even ended up in that predicament is she lost a coin under a vending machine, and when she goes to retrieve it, she finds the tiny ghost is holding her coin. It runs into the alley and she decides to give chase, but pretends to lose the coin in the alley as an excuse to give chase. Now confronted with the bigger ghost between herself and the lost coin, she begins to regret her decision. It is in that moment that a bird swoops down, takes the coin, and flies away, providing Miko a chance for a quick escape. This also leads to a great scene between Miko and her little brother, where he asks about the money and she tells him that she lost it to a bird, but it's okay because it saved her life. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't want to say, I don't want to give everything away. I know I kind of talked, I rambled on a lot, but I just really wanted to talk about the series because I think it's well worth your time, and I wanted to create interest, and hopefully you'll want to check it out as well. I actually have another thing that I'm doing today too. I mean, I might be doing it today. I have an unboxing that I have coming up. I might actually be doing it in the same while, so you'll probably see me wearing the same shirt, just doing this, just sitting here doing this again. I'm excited to do that because that's gonna be my first unboxing. I don't actually know. I'll probably end up putting that out first and then this later, but we'll see what happens. Actually, before I go, I wanted to say something really quick. So apparently, Mieru translates to can see, and then ko is something that in Japanese they usually put this at the end of girls' names. So like Hanako or even like Mitsuko, they have the ko at the end. I guess the ko means child, so it's child who can see, and then they put chan at the end since it's like a term of endearment for girls and like children. Something that they'd say chan like Mitsuko-Chan, Hanako-Chan, stuff like that. Aka-Chan for a baby. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So you put it all together and it's Mieruko-Chan. So it's apparently like child who can see, but then I've also heard say that it's like a child of light. Please correct me if any of that is incorrect. That's just what I read. I guess part of that's in here, and then like I kind of looked around and it also means like a child of light or something. So, I mean, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourselves.